Hi guys, it's me again, and so today's video is going to be my top 10 favorite Nickelodeon cartoons. So recently Nickelodeon said that it is their, like a few days ago, said it was their 25th Nicktoons anniversary. So I've been wanting to do this video for a while, but I thought, hey, why not do it now, like in celebration of the 25 years of Nickelodeon cartoons. So here we go. So before I start, I'm probably going to say a couple of honorable mentions, because the thing is, like, it is very hard to find all of the things. Like, it really is hard to figure out all the shows. So one of my honorable mentions is Cat Dog. So Cat Dog kind of annoys me a little bit. As a kid, it didn't annoy me. I used to watch it as a kid and didn't mind it as badly, but I've watched it recently and it just kind of gets on my nerves, so that's kind of why it's an honorable mention. It doesn't make my dislike list of Nickelodeon cartoons, but I gave it an honorable mention. The other one I want to say is another honorable mention is Doug. Doug, I didn't watch too much as a kid, and I don't really watch too much of it now. I like probably the theme song better than anything else, but it's still a pretty good show, and I just thought I'd give it a mention. One more mention is going to be Angry Beavers. Again, this one, I love the theme song too. I used to dance to it as a kid. Pretty much, it's a really good show though, because I have watched it recently and things, but it just didn't quite make the list. So, time to start the countdown. As we start with number 10. Number 10 is going to be Danny Phantom. So, when I was a kid, I did watch this show a little bit. And I remember the theme song, and I don't remember too much about it. It's kind of why it's number 10. It doesn't give me that much of a entire, like, memory of it. So, but it is a good show. I haven't really watched it recently. I've listened to the theme song recently, but I haven't really watched it recently. But no, Danny Phantom is number 10. Number 9 is going to be a weird one, but I'm sorry to any kids that are watching this, little kids, but I'm not a little kid, so I'm going to have to say this. Number 9 is the older SpongeBob. The one that is a long time ago kind of SpongeBob, 1999, 2000, 2001, first seasons of SpongeBob. I can watch them and not throw up. I can't watch the newer SpongeBobs. I try, but I can't. I do like the first season of SpongeBob. I can watch it. And I thought about putting it as an honorable mention, but like, I did like watching it, and it is a little bit in my memory of watching it as a kid and liking it, and I still can watch the old episodes now, so that is the good part. So the older episodes, from a long time ago of SpongeBob, are at number 9. Number 8 is Rocket Power. I remember watching this as a kid, and it was really good. And I remember mainly them, one episode that always stands out in my mind is when they get in trouble for something. I don't remember what it is, but I just remember they got in trouble, and they end up having to work at the ice cream shop, and I remember they slide ice cream everywhere, and I remember as a kid thinking like, man, I want to do that in my kitchen right now, slide ice cream everywhere. But no, it's a really, really good show, and if you haven't seen it, like, heard of it, because most Nicktoons, you hear about the same ones over and over again. If you've never heard of that one, watch it. It's really cool. So, Number 7 is going to be Jimmy Neutron. I liked Jimmy Neutron a lot. I always liked the weird experiments that he always did. In a way, it was always just kind of really cool. I didn't really care for the thing they did afterwards, the show having to do with Sheen. I didn't care for that one that much. I didn't even really care much for Sheen in Jimmy Neutron. I know everybody kind of that was like everybody's favorite character, was never really mine. I just always liked watching what shenanigans they could get into or what idea was going to come next. So, Jimmy Neutron is number 7. Number 6 is going to be My Life as a Teenage Robot. So this one is not as popular. Nobody really talks about it much. But it is one that did exist. It came out when I was 5. And pretty much it's like just about like it's not about a girl that turns into a robot. It's about a mom that creates, or not a mom, but she's like a woman, but she pretty much becomes a mom to the robot. But she creates it, and it's a teenage robot kind of girl. And she ends up trying to live a normal teenage life, but she can't. And she doesn't really want anybody to really know what she does and things, because she like fights crime and stuff like that. One episode that always stands out in my mind of this was one that scared the crap out of me when I was little. And that was one when, I don't quite how it goes because I can't find the episode on YouTube. I tried, but I didn't find it. But literally, like, a black part of, like, the evil part of her actually comes out into, like, a type of black skin, and it ends up actually literally trying to destroy her, and it used to give me nightmares as a kid. If you know what episode I'm talking about, let me know, because, like, I don't remember the name of it, but I do remember that episode, and it was terrifying. Okay, so we're now down to the top 5. Number 5 is one that maybe y'all have heard of, maybe you haven't. It didn't last very long, but this one is Chalk Zone. So that's kind of like one of my favorite theme songs. I love that theme song. It's like, and it's so adventurous, and it's like you want to watch the show because like it's so interesting to see what the little boy will do next with the chalk. I have not watched an episode recently, but I do remember watching it as a kid, and I remember it didn't last very long. It's kind of like Invader Zim. It didn't last very long. Not that many people liked it, but I personally think it's better than Invader Zim. Nobody hate me for that, but Chalk Zone is at number 5. Number 4 is the Wild Thornberrys. I love this show as a kid. I mean, I know I heard they play it on the Splat. I've never really seen it on the Splat, but I also don't have cable, so I don't know. But the Wild Thornberrys is like, it's really funny. Like, all the characters are just all really funny. Like Eliza, Darwin, Debbie, just pretty much all of them are just all really funny. And it's also kind of interesting because, like, it kind of helps kids out learning about all different types of animals, like from Africa, and just all kind of, some of them, the animals could be extinct, some of them aren't. It's just kind of educational in a way, and I know it helped me like figure out animals and stuff, and it's really cool. And it's like just a really cool, really funny kind of show like that. It's really good. Number 3 is As Told by Ginger. This was a show that was just kind of very, like, pretty much it had like a plain plot to it, but at the same time, just kind of the things they put in the show was just like, it could just help you out a lot. Like, it dealt with divorce, it dealt with boyfriends, it dealt with growing up, it dealt with having fights with your friends, just a normal kind of thing. But you normally don't see that in a cartoon. Normally you see that in, like, in a sitcom or something. So, but seeing it in a cartoon and helping kids out, it's just like, I know it did help me out a lot being a kid. I didn't watch it too much as a kid, but I watched all the seasons recently, and I was like, this show is still really good, because I couldn't remember much from it being a kid. I remember watching it, but I didn't remember many episodes. But I actually kind of I think I liked it better as an adult than as a kid watching it. That's really bad. But As Told by Ginger is number 3. We are down to the top 2. Number 2 is Hey Arnold. So this one is another one that's kind of like As Told by Ginger. It's very kind of emotional, deals with a kid and stuff like that, and his growing up and things. So, but I'm pretty sure everybody's probably seen Hey Arnold. If you haven't, you need to watch it, but I'm pretty sure everybody has. I am very, very excited for the movie next year, the Jungle Book movie, because the thing is, like, we have been waiting like a million years for it to come, and it finally is. But kind of just Hey Arnold, it's just kind of like one of those shows that's just like, it's entertaining. It's funny, it's emotional, it deals with all kind of emotions, and it pretty much, I remember watching it a lot as a kid, and I even watch it now. Like a couple of years ago, we bought the 5 seasons of it, found it at Walmart for like $20, and I watched all 5 of the seasons again, and it was still as good as it was when I watched it as a kid. So yeah, we are down to the number 1. If you think you have it figured out, because normally every single time I watch a like top 10 type of thing or something like that having to do with somebody's top 10s, I always try and see if I can guess what it is. And maybe if you guessed it, I want you to comment down below and tell me if you're right or not. So, my number 1 Nickelodeon cartoon is none other than Rugrats. Pretty much Rugrats is my favorite show pretty much in general. It's just, it's that good. I mean, for Pete's sakes, it had 9 seasons. 9. Like, that's crazy for cartoon history. I mean, besides The Simpsons, but like, that's crazy for cartoon history. Like, it was that good and things. And I love Rugrats so much. I mean, I pretty much, Chucky and I are just kind of almost the same. I always did things as a kid. Like, I started watching Rugrats when I was 1 year old. And I actually remember watching it. And that's crazy. And I remember when I was 1 year old, I remember the movie came out. And I couldn't see it because I was 1 year old. But then I remember later getting it on VHS and watching it over and over and over again. And that movie, that is so weird. That movie, a cartoon movie, I know you can cry at cartoon movies, but that one makes me cry every single time. Like, when I know Spike never dies at the end, but I don't know what it is, but that part always wants to make me cry, because they're like, bring Spike back, and then you're like wanting to cry, and it's just so sad. But everything ends up so good. But just like, everything about Rugrats is just awesome. Like, it deals, again, like with Hey Arnold, it deals like with funniness and emotions and things like that. And it's always just a good thing just for a kid to watch. And even as an adult, like, they have adult jokes in there that I can now understand that I couldn't as a kid. But like, it's that good. I mean, no matter what age you are, you can watch it. It's just that good. So, that is my top 10 Nickelodeon cartoons. I hope you did. I hope you did like it. And if you did, let me know. And I'll see you in another video. Bye.